Hi guys, it's Jan here at JM Tennis, and in this session I'm going to cover the myth about the wrist lag. As we know, a lot of coaches, again, they're getting a bit of confused about the wrist lag. They are watching the pros and they see the racket goes there forward and they're feeling like, oh, it has to be forced and all this. No. When you're doing the wrist lag, which is very important again there for that last kind of, it's the last thing prior to that contact point there. If we're talking about the racket and the arm we're doing there, it's very important to focus on these two things. Number one, super relaxed with your wrist. Obviously, you don't want to be too relaxed that the racket just comes off your hand, yeah? But you don't want to be tight. If you're too tight, with your fingers and with your wrist, you're never gonna be able to generate a nice wrist lag, that popping effect there, yeah? Because that wrist lag there is there for a reason, for purpose, yeah? When you see Federer and all these guys, you can see very nicely that just before they hit the ball, that bottom of the racket is pointing the ball until very last moment. They still here, still here, still here. Then they just let it go. Then they just let it go, I'm saying. Because they just releasing it. You just release the weight of the racket there, yeah? Because this is the very last step there. Prior to that, you do all the biomechanical steps with your body, of course, because we're not hitting just with the arm. Arm is just the result of what we've done before. But it's important to focus on that wrist lag, so you're really getting it back, yeah? It's, again, I always say, is that a bow effect, that arching effect, yeah? It's like if you pull something back and then you let it go. This is exactly what happens there with the wrist. You pull it back, yeah? But still relaxed. You pull it back, you kind of stretch it, yeah? There's a tension now, and then you just release the tension and you let the racket punch that ball. It's fantastic. It's amazing how it works when you do it at the right time. Again, so we don't want to force it, yeah? You don't want to end up like this and then pushing it there, yeah? With this one, you're gonna have inconsistent forehand. You want to be super relaxed, let it go, and last moment, just release the racket. The racket will show you the path, yeah? It just goes there nicely. If you get a little bit more extreme forehand grip, like kind of semi-western, just like me, more like kind of a Djokovic or almost like Nadal, then it's still there, yeah? It's still there, but it's gonna be slightly different than what you see, for example, with Federer when he has got that more kind of, you know, the simple grip, that one, yeah, very traditional forehand grip, and he just, you can see nicely there how the racket really pops, but very last millisecond here, and it just lets it go, yeah. So you want to be here holding, very last moment. There is a way how to practice this. You want to be relaxed, and you're doing kind of this number 8 here, hop, hop. I'm not forcing, I'm just letting the racket show me the way, okay. Then you do the same with the ball, and again, hop. But again, we want to avoid this. You don't want to be forcing it, that your arm would be kind of too bent here, the wrist after, yeah? You want to be relaxed and just let it go. Kind of like if you just let it go to that original position, yeah? So you're here, nice, up, wrist lag, stretch it back, yeah? Let it go. If it will be when you're playing more kind of fast in a match, then again, I'm here, I'm waiting, very last second, I'll let it go. Up, release, one more, up, release, huh? But it's important to just remember when you start working on this, be relaxed and don't force it.
So right now here in this training session, and I'm hitting with my sparring partner, you can see how much my head of the racket travels back on my backswing, and I want you to pay attention to how much I'm gonna bend my wrist back, yeah? So I'm taking the racket back, I bend my wrist back as much as I can, and then by the time I start bringing the racket forward into the contact point, I'm still lagging the racket behind me. Yeah, so the racket really comes in very last millisecond. Yeah, you can really see how the bottom of my racket is pointing the ball already when I'm opening and I'm going into the contact point. And then just very last millisecond, I release the wrist, I let it go from the wrist to the original position basically. So it's not forcing, but it's really, as I said before, it's letting the wrist getting back to the original position. Yeah, so on the backswing, you doing the backswing, you bend your wrist back as much as you can, so you're pointing the head of the racket to the back fence or even to the fence on the right hand side behind you. Basically, if you can do that, it's gonna give you even more of the width once you're gonna release that wrist and once you're gonna get back your wrist to that original position. And once you're gonna start timing it properly, you're gonna have amazing big forehands, because this last motion is just gonna give you that additional extra speed, and also, you know, the ball's just gonna be much heavier.
force it. Yeah, be on the court as long as you need until you really feel that it's natural, that you're really pointing the ball, still pointing the ball, still pointing the ball. Very last millisecond, you just let it go. Yeah, once you're gonna start feeling it, trust me, it's a fantastic feeling. It's a fantastic feeling. I mean, when I have that forehand there, it adds me so much more extra power there when I do it properly. When I don't do it properly, when I don't time it properly, that's when I struggle, that's when I'm forcing, and then it's really hard to put everything together. So again, super relaxed and letting it go very last millisecond. Yeah? Holding. This, the bottom of the grip still points the ball until very last moment. Then you let it go. I'm sure it's gonna work for you, but remember to be super relaxed. Don't force it, just anything in tennis. You always want to be super relaxed. Watch the pros, how relaxed they are and how easy they make it look. That's how we want to play, or at least we want to get to that similar level, and that's why I'm here to help you with this. I'm not gonna just tell you what you have to do, but also how you have to do, because it's very important to know how we're gonna start training. So I hope this session will help you. If it did help you, please feel free to comment below or tell me what is your problem with your wrist lock there, if you're using it, if you're not using it. But again, once you have it there, then you're not gonna think about it too much because it's gonna be very automatic. This is not a tough part, but it's important to always all the way back and you let it go very last millisecond. Just let it have the racket, the weight of the racket to show you the way, I always say. It does work. Yeah, this racket has a weight. You want to treat the racket as your weight and you want to use it as a weight for a nice transfer there. That's the best explanation. You don't want to force it there. Yeah, you could also get injured. We just don't want to do this. So we're not forcing. We are super relaxed. We're letting it go. If you like this session, subscribe below. And also, if you would like to learn more, make sure to check out my free 5-day online tennis training event, 10x Pro Secrets. In those 5 days of my online tennis training event, you will learn everything about how to start having better forehands, backhands, how to fix the consistency, how to have more effortless strokes, how to serve better, how to return better, how to be more fitter, and how to start thinking just like a tennis pro. Once you start doing all these things, your tennis is gonna go from here up to here. So imagine that you can transform your tennis game in 5 days basically. I'm looking forward to see you next session for more, and let's transform your tennis game right now.